Today's practical is to how to elicit deep reflexes. For this we need an instrument called patellar hammer or knee hammer or percussion hammer. It is a simple device which has a long metallic handle that bears a triangular rubber piece at one end. It has a broad end and a pointed end. So the rubber piece, it is employed to deliver a sharp blow on the tendon of a slightly stretched muscle. When the upper end of the handle is unscrewed like this, it carries a sharp pointed end which is used to elicit superficial reflexes, and it is also carrying a brush on the other end which is used for testing the touch sensation. I will demonstrate you how to elicit deep reflexes. In the upper limb there are 3 deep reflexes: biceps reflex, triceps reflex and supinator reflex, also called brachioradialis or radialis reflex. In the lower limb there is knee reflex and ankle reflex. In addition there is jaw reflex, also called mandibular reflex. Now before starting the examination, like any other clinical examination, some prerequisites have to be followed. Like the examiner has to stand on the right side of the subject, ask the patient to relax, reassure him, explain the procedure to the subject, tell him that the hammer won't hurt you, and always examine the both sides of the subject. Like you elicit some reflex on the right side, you have to do it on the left side also. Now starting with biceps reflex, firstly you should know how to use hammer. It is held between your thumb and fingers like this, and the movement should be at your wrist. And then you give a brisk blow and quickly lift the hammer after this, like this. For biceps reflex, first you have to identify the biceps tendon. For this, you ask the subject to flex the elbow. The biceps tendon is felt like a cord-like structure. You have to keep your thumb over it. Now you make the proper position. You ask the subject to flex the elbow at right angle, and the forearm is kept in the semi-pronated position. The subject's forearm is supported on the examiner's hand. Proper positioning is important because it makes the muscle slightly stretched. Now strike the tendon indirectly with the narrow end of the hammer on your thumb. This is important because biceps tendon is very delicate and it is prone to tear. After striking, the response you will see is flexion of the forearm, and you can also observe the muscle contraction over this area. Triceps reflex, you have to make position like this. The elbow is kept at right angle and you have to support the arm of the patient like this. Now you have to strike the triceps tendon proximal to the point of elbow over here. The tendon of triceps muscle is broad, so we are using the broad end of the hammer for striking it. So the response is extension of the forearm. You can also note the contraction of the muscle over here. This reflex can also be elicited in the supine position. Keep the forearm of the patient over the chest like this, and then you strike. So there is extension of the forearm. The supinator reflex, the arm is kept at right angle to the forearm, that is at the elbow right angle, and the forearm is kept midway between supination and pronation. Now with the broad end of the hammer you strike the tendon of brachioradialis muscle near the styloid process of the radius. So you can see the response is supination of the forearm and slight flexion of the forearm. The knee reflex, it can be demonstrated in lying down position as well as in sitting position. For demonstrating in lying down position, you support the knee of the patient like this. The leg should hang freely and the weight should be on the examiner's arm. Now with the broad end of the hammer, you strike the tendon of quadriceps femoris between patella and tibial process like this. And the response is extension of the knee. Now the knee reflex can also be done in sitting position with the patient's leg dangling from the edge of the couch or a chair. It can also be done in the cross leg position. For ankle reflex, you have to make proper position first, that is slight flexion at the knee joint like this, slight external rotation at the hip joint, and then the examiner with his one hand slightly dorsiflexes the foot of the patient. Now with the broad end of the hammer, you strike the Achilles tendon at this point, and you can also note the contraction of the gastrocnemius muscle over the calf, as well as the response is slight plantar flexion of the foot. Clonus. Clonus is a series of involuntary contraction of a muscle in response to stretch. It is an abnormal response which is seen in upper motor neuron type of lesions. Ill-sustained clonus can be seen in ancient subjects. It is seen in calf muscles called ankle clonus over here, and in thigh muscles it is called patellar clonus or knee clonus. Now for knee clonus, the subject's leg is placed in extension like this. Now you hold the patella between your thumb and fingers from its sides and press it downwards sharply and firmly like this. Normally there is no response, but if clonus is present, that is in upper motor neuron type of lesions, the patella will show rapid up and down movement. Now for ankle clonus, the subject's knee is slightly flexed and it is held up by supporting it on the examiner's hand. Now suddenly dorsiflex the forefoot of the subject. Normally there is no response, but if ankle clonus is present, this sudden stretch of the calf muscle will result in their alternate contractions and relaxations.